Welcome Cancer to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 27th of May for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now I'm showing the event chart right at the start of the week, which provides some very important pointers, not least the position of your ruler, the Moon. It is in the sign of Capricorn, technically detrimented here, but for you this arouses your skills as a relator. It also forges a very constructive link to the stern Saturn in your sector of knowledge, but also Mercury in the friendly 11th house. You could find yourself as an advice giver this week, Cancer, to be honest, but also if you did need to seek out professional support, whether it was a counsellor, an accountant, perhaps even a solicitor, this could be a week when people can come in and support you in a very private and confidential way, but very helpfully. But it is important to understand that Mars continues right at the top of your chart, which means that your pride and certainly your desire to receive recognition is turned up at this phase of the year, and it is going to be meeting Chiron by Wednesday. If you don't feel your professional situation is going quite as you would like, I wouldn't push too hard at the heart of this week, because by Thursday the moon travels into your sister water sign of Pisces, but it squares up with the sun. You now have a collective in your 12th house, including the sun and also the part of fortune, the sign of Gemini. But a 9th, 12th house quarter moon can amplify our emotions, particularly our fears and anxieties, in a way which may be beyond how we'd ordinarily react. So in other words, you could find yourself being triggered in some way, which is a little bit unusual. But there are opportunities in your 12th house as well, because if you're someone who's particularly interested in the spiritual domain, Jupiter, the planet which governs the sign of Pisces and is the traditional ruler, it moving into your 12th house and also linking to Pluto right through this week. It becomes exact on the following Monday on the 3rd of June, but you're going to feel this energy. And if you're someone who really is into personal development, if you're into alternative medicine, if you're into healing, if you're into retreats, meditation, all of these areas can really come to life, not just this week, but over the next year. But because Venus, the lesser benefit, Jupiter being the greater benefit, is so close to Jupiter, there can be some enrichment that comes this week from discovering more about what makes you tick at a much deeper level. And the reason why this can be such a vivid week and such an important week is that Pluto, the planet of transformation, in your 8th house, that's very much about things coming to a close, but also being rebirthed. But that can happen with our psychology as much as in a physical sense. So there may be that something's shifting in terms of how you think about relationships. You could also find yourself thinking very, very deeply about someone from your past. It doesn't have to be an ex-partner or a lover. It could be an old school friend or colleague or family member. If you're really interested in genealogy, you could quarry out something at this time which proves to be absolutely gripping. But the key is, because the position of Jupiter and Venus are in the 12th house, that could mean that if a relationship isn't working for you, it could come to an end. And Pluto can see ends and beginnings. But if an end does occur, that gives you the opportunity to rebirth yourself as an individual. But you may need to go through a period of deep reconsideration, and that's what the 12th house is about. It can be about healing, but most of all, it can be about needing to withdraw a little bit. So there's a paradox, because Mars is asking you to be loud and large. As Mercury moves forwards by Friday, it links with Uranus, which can give you some brilliant future-orientated ideas. But as we tune into that energy in Gemini, perhaps there will be some times when you do actually want to seek some shelter, some quiet, and some time to cocoon yourself away. So although there can be opportunities to be that advice giver or receiver, essentially this is a time of very deep thinking, a pause in a way, a time to really rejuvenate the deeper part of your situation and understand what really is very important to you right at the core of your being. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Cancer. Have a great week. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now.